Hello everyone, how are you today? It is Sharon here from the blog I Restore Stuff, ready for another DIY live here on Essential Stencils page, and I am cross-posting over onto my I Restore Stuff page here on Facebook as well. And I do upload these to my YouTube channel, so if you are watching from over there, welcome and hello to you too. Let me just refresh the page here. Don't forget, with Essential Stencil, you can use my code I Restore Stuff and save 10%. Hi Joy, how are you today? So I'll mention that every now and then just as a reminder. But as you're jumping in here on the live, or even if you're watching the replay, don't forget to comment the word replay because there's a chance to win some prizes there. But if you have joined me for the live, welcome. Stay tuned right to the end because we pick some winners from our comments there at the end. So make sure you're commenting. Thank you so much, Tracy, for sprinkling. We do love it when you share our live. So just hit that little button too and let your friends know that we're live here showing our craft today. I'm doing a couple of signs, two, maybe even three, like a little mini one right at the end if I have time. But we're talking Easter, spring crafts. How many of you did get or pre-order the spring stencils, and how many pre-ordered the Easter stencils? I'd love to know. Let me know which is your favourite stencil so far from Essential Stencil. Hi Barb, how are you? Hi Linda. Great to see you all here today. Well, I can't see you, but you can see me. I just love I see familiar faces coming up every week on our lives, and gets me excited that I see you all here. So hello Tracy, hi Lisa, Evelyn's here, and Kathy's here. Hi Kathy. So just a reminder guys, today is the last day of January, which means free shipping. You've still got today to take advantage of the free shipping from Essential Stencils. So if you've got some pre-orders, if you've got some things on pre-order, maybe today is time you can just throw in, or if you need an extra brushes, the Essential Stencil brushes are there. Also the finishing brushes, detail brushes we call them, or you can use them for bridging your stencils. So those, you can throw some of those in, add some more transfers. You know that we have restocked the vintage transfers, so if you missed out on that news, they have been restocked. That is restocked. That's the vintage spring stamps, absolutely gorgeous. The vintage butterflies, which I've cut some out of there, and the gorgeous Easter bunnies. I've got them over there ready for a project if I get time later on. So they're all restocked. So remember, last day today for free shipping, which has been all of January. So I hope you've been taking advantage of that. And Evelyn, you ordered from both. We absolutely love the faith words and the crosses. Yes, the crosses are beautiful. The faith words are gorgeous. I did hear that they have sold out. So the faith words have sold out. But if you do want them and you missed out, please go to that product, and there's a section there where you can ask them to let you know when it's restocked, and that lets Essential Stencil know how many people are interested in getting that stencil set and having them reprinted again. So make sure that you do that and let them know that you want to know when they are restocked. So I'm going to get started on our project here today. I've got little Olive, our little cavoodle puppy, sitting in her crate, nice and well behaved beside me because she's got a treat in there because I'm at home doing this by myself today. Hi Joyce Ann, hi Melissa. Also, please let us know if you are brand new here to Essential Stencil. Maybe someone's just hit the share and shared this live on their feed and you've gone, oh, I wonder what this is about, and you've never stenciled before. Let us know in the comments. We love to know when we've got new stencilers here, you've never tried stenciling, or the rub-on transfers from Essential Stencil. Excuse me, I didn't put my microphone on, so it's probably sounding like it's in the distance. Let me just grab that for you. Should be a whole lot clearer now. Hi Melissa, hi Pat. Thanks for letting us know you're here. So today I'm going to be using, if you saw this just a little second ago, using this round. Now I believe I didn't bring my tape measure out, but I believe it's a 11 inches. And I'll be showing you this stencil today. Now you won't find this on the website to purchase, but let me let you in on a secret that if you are purchasing stencils today and you have in your cart over $90 worth of stencils. This comes to you free. Now this is worth, well, I didn't have a look actually. I saw it in Australian dollars, and that's completely different. So I won't even say the price because I'll get it wrong. But these are a great value because they're a layered stencil set. So I'll be showing you this layered technique today. It comes in 3 different stages, and you can layer the colors on top of each other. So I'll show you that today. But you get this one free as a bonus when your cart hits over the $90 mark on Essential Stencil's website. So don't forget to take advantage of that. If your cart does go over that amount, you get a free lily pad one. I know some people had a sneak peek at this and were like, oh my goodness, I want to see that one. It says, welcome to our pad, and it's a door hanger, and it will fit perfectly on my round here. Let me just go over really quickly and remind you of the Easter bundle that's now available. I did show it last week, I believe, but there are several sets in the Easter bundle. Let me just confirm. There's 8 Easter stencil sets, and so 23 beautiful designs. That means within the sets you've got a whole bunch of different designs. Let me go over those really quickly. There's the Easter lily pattern. So Essential Stencil's great at doing these pattern pieces. There's He Is Risen with the crown of thorns around the outside as the wreath part. Now that one also fits on a 12-inch round as in this one. This is, I think it's 11.5 inches, but 12-inch round would be better if you did have that. Then we've got the Welcome to Our Burrow Easter set. Now I didn't realise until I saw Amanda show this the other day that it's actually a 3-part set. And so you've got the rabbits here and the carrots, they're facing that way, and then it has, if you turned this upside down, the bunnies would be upside down. So they also have one, so if you wanted to put it on the bottom of your round, you could use the other way up. Also, the crosses that someone mentioned before were their favourites. Cindy, you love this set. Yes, Kim loves it too. There's also the Words of Faith stencils, and the chocolate bunny set, and also this one, which I'm going to be using today, is the Hosanna and Risen set. Now I will be showing you some techniques today on this block of how to create this beautiful, nice, solid block of wood into a bit more of a rustic look, and we'll be staining that, so don't go anywhere if you don't want to miss that. That's the stencil I'll be putting on there in a minute. All right, did I get them all? I'm not sure if I got them all, but you can have a look on the website. It shows you the Easter bundle there, and I do believe there's only about 30 Easter bundles left. So to buy that as a bundle, to get the discount, you buy it as a bundle. Then you can add my code, iRestoreStuff, and get a further 10% off all the already discounted bundle price. You can order some of those individually, but I do believe they've run out of a couple, like the Faith one. I think I got that all right, but it's right there on the website. You'll see that at essentialstencil.com. So I think I've mentioned everything, but I will kind of repeat stuff. Today's the last day for free shipping because it's the last day of January. In fact, I'm in Australia, so I'm actually on February today. It's the 1st of February today for me, but for you guys, 31st of January, last day for free shipping. Take advantage of that. All right, we'll start with this block of wood that I've got here. Oh, I didn't bring my measuring tape to tell you, because someone always asks, what size is the block of wood? It's, I don't know, it's a couple of inches wide. I cut them this way, or I had my husband cut them, so that they will sit on a shelf. So I would call it a shelf sitter block. And you can make it, if I was you, I would make yours as long as the stencils, but I was doing something else and just wanted to evenly get the right amount of wood from one huge long wood piece. But I'm going to fit the Hosanna sign on there, and I'll show you how, because I always, I don't know, play around with the stencils to make them all work. So, but if I was you, I would make yours 16 inches, because that's the size of the stencil here. And yes, I'm wearing short sleeves because it is summer here. It is very hot, and I've got the air conditioning on. Hi, Mona from Texas. Oh, that's amazing. Hi, Bonnie. Thank you for watching. Now, I am also cross-posting this to my iRestoreStuff page. So if you're over there, I'll see you can order these from the USA. Within the USA, shipping only at this stage. I'm going to point my camera down, and we'll get started on this block of wood right here. Lift it up a little. Now, I've brought some tools with me because we're going to ding this little piece of wood up. I've brought, I don't know, what's this, pliers. I also brought this carbide scraper because that can create some fun effects. And just a pair of pincers, not for any other reason, but just to whack the wood. So if you've got anything heavy like that that you can ding or whack the wood, nails are another good thing to create sort of holes and all of that kind of thing. So, and then we will stain it. So I'm going to whack my corners here because see, these are nice, sharp, crisp corners. But if you would imagine an old, worn piece of wood, they would kind of have dinged in corners. Going to make a little bit of noise here today, people, and the dog's probably wondering what on earth is going on. So see, I've sort of smoothed them off, rounded them off a little bit. You could actually do that to all the edges. And if I wanted to make this, which I really strongly suggest doing, because I'm having the word Hosanna here, it's more like a Easter, Palm Sunday themed, seasonal themed stencil. You can reverse it and put a different stencil on the back. I will be just using that one today though. And I'll do the reverse another day maybe. So with this scraper, I use this for scraping off paint when I'm restoring furniture. After I've sort of put on a paint stripper, then I'll kind of use the scraper to get down, remove the varnish off. But it works well for just making this nice smooth edge a lot rougher. And I will make a bit of a mess here on the board, on my backing, my table, but that's okay. So I'm just doing a little rough scraping of the edge. You can kind of go any which way. I could do it back the other way. And it's sort of splintering that end of the wood and creating these little chunky bits in it. So let me just tap that off. And you can see that there, we've roughened up the wood. So here's how it used to look, nice and smooth. And then we've created this really rough edge. Now when the stain catches that, it all gets into the grooves of all the crevices. I did start on this one over here a little bit. Now if you don't have a scraper, you could use just like a really sharp Stanley knife or something like that. Oh, Mona, you said you tried to use my code a week ago and it was not accepted. I'm not sure why either, unless you got some spelling wrong or maybe had a space in there or something. So let me know if anyone else has had trouble using my code. That would be sad. But you can also use the links that I share as well. But thank you so much, Mona, for using my code. I appreciate it. Okay. Remove my mess. I'll have to sweep that up in a minute. But I have got these sides where I haven't done anything to. So what I can show you with the hammer or with this or even with this little thing is you can just kind of do a bit of dinging as if you've got some little holes going on in there. And I don't want to make them, I want to make them a little bit random. Like I'll leave some out of the center. Also knocking on the sides of your board. It's a great idea. Also with this kind of thing. So I use different size tools because you can see I've got some great dings out there. I'll see if I can see the chunks that are coming out of that edge there. So it's really fairly easy and fairly quick to do. And if you wanted to, so if those little, where I used the scraper, if those are too sharp, you can just grab a little bit of sandpaper and just make sure you've removed any sort of loose bits of wood chips that are flying around. You don't want to get any loose bits caught in your paint, or I don't know that they would splinter, but sometimes you could get a little splinter from them maybe. So you could do that same effect all the way around the wood, the tops, the bottoms, all over. Another couple of little dings on there. And these edges, because it's going to be a shelf sitter, you'll see those edges as well. So we kind of ding those up a bit as well. And I might just do the bottom, just so that when we're staining it, we can see those bits working as well. All right, so you get the idea. So now we're going to go on with a bit of a stain. And I'll remove all my tools out of the way. So to do my stain, what I'm going to do today is use a little bit of Fusion Mineral Paint in the colour Woodwick, and I'm just going to create a wash over this thing here. We're also going to be doing this round today, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that layered stencil in just a minute. So what I need is just a bit of water. So all that a wash, I create washes out of regular acrylic paint. It's a water-based paint, so you can mix it with water to create a bit of a wash. So all I'll do is add, you only need because I've only got to cover this surface, you only need the tiniest bit of water. So I've literally just put water around the bottom of this jar or container. And you can use whatever ratio you like. So as a general rule, I might use about 1 part paint to about 5 to 10 parts water to make a nice thin wash. If you wanted a darker wash, just add more paint of the colour that you want to use the wash for. I am also going to use the wash on here. So then, instead of pouring paint into there, all I'm going to do, and this is just purely guesswork, is to, yes, I was distressing the wood, that's what you'd call it. Thank you for whoever mentioned that. All I'm going to do is dip my brush into the paint, because that is going to be plenty to create the wash with. So then I'll add it to the water, and you can see that that's kind of creating a nice muddy brown there, and this is the colour Woodwick. You can use my Fusion Mineral Paint affiliate link if you don't have a Fusion retailer near you. Be happy to give that to you in the comments if you need it. It's a gorgeous wash colour. I love using it for a wash. And then of course when you're using acrylic paints and you've watered them down, you would put a sealer over the top of your sign when you're completely finished it. So I am going to now just wash that. Hopefully I've got that all mixed in. It doesn't take long to mix it in. And then we're going to just drag this paint over the wood, and I will do it on the top also. So see, there's our stain coming on. It's just a bit of a wash using that nice long strokes with the grain of the wood, and I will do the other side another time when I've dinged that up nicely. I do like to do all the sides, and then I can lay it down and do the top. So here's the end grain, and you can see that that end grain is always takes the stain a lot more, so it's therefore a bit darker than the regular just along the grain. So this is the end grain. So imagine this is a tree stump. That's where they would cut it off there. And did I get that side? No. So Essential Stencil has posted the link there in our pinned comments. So mentioning also that today is the last day for free shipping in January. And so now's a great chance to add any brushes you might need, any of those extra little transfers that they've just restocked, or your bridging brushes, detail brushes. All right, so now let's have a look at the top section, and we're just so easy to just create a wash from literally any kind of, any colour of an acrylic based or water based paint. Peggy, Kansas is here. Welcome. Welcome to the crafting party tonight. Here we are, just crafting away. Now, I really love the colour, and as you can see, I'll show you this close up. The stain has sort of filled those little dings and holes and sort of made it darker in those areas. So you could go over that again if you felt like you needed more colour on that, but giving you a close-up look, you can see the little, show you the ends where I've dinged those ends and scraped them with the carbide scraper. Some of the tools I do use for my stenciling and sign making, I do have an Amazon link that I can share with you, that I've got all of my stencil supplies or tools that I use for that. So there you can see how we've distressed the wood, dinged it up a bit, and now we've created a stain wash. Now I'll show you that on our raw piece of round sign that we've made for our Lily. Welcome to our pad. door hanger. Now with the rounds, I always like to get the edges as well, so don't forget those. And that's usually made up of a bit of the end grain also. But that's easier to just do all the sides first, because then you can hold with your other hand and make sure you've got all of the ends there. Making sure I've got every bit covered, and then we'll go over the top with this brown colour. This is the colour Woodwick by Fusion Mineral Paint, and I'd be happy to share my affiliate link there with you if you just let me know in the comments, and I can add that later. Susan, yes, you love to create different colours of stain with your paints also. That's awesome. And you do too, Peggy. It's so easy to do, isn't it? And then you just have to seal it. I actually do this technique on my furniture pieces as well. So see, I've still got all that left. Well, it's not a lot, but I literally just dribbled water on the bottom of this jar, and I've still got enough to do probably the back of that sign later on if I choose to. Now, I did forget to bring what I always have here is some little plastic bags to wrap my brushes in, so I can reuse the colours. So I'll just let that sit and dry, or I could just hit that with my hairdryer in a minute. And we'll just, let's see if this one's pretty dry. I might have to just plug this in and add the hairdryer to dry that. Christy, yes, you would have. She says, I spent over $90 but received a different free stencil. So what has happened is that Essential Stencil started out with certain different stencil designs for their free gift, and then they have put on there that this is today's only free gift, and then they can change that up if they need to, or if they have run out of a certain stock, they obviously have to change that up a bit. So yes, the frog is the latest one for the over $90 free gift. It's free, people. Get excited about free. Also, speaking of free shipping. Free shipping it's the last day for free shipping today, so don't forget to take advantage of that. Now we're going to be doing our lily pad frog in a minute. This is from your Easter set. It's called the Hosanna and Risen. So we've got Here's Risen on this side with these beautiful leaves up here, and this one's got the palm branch look on the side of it, Hosanna. Now, you might have already been able to tell, but this is not going to fit on my block. We're going to lose those palm branches. So what I'm going to do is center the word Hosanna, tape off some bits, and then I'll add the palm branches afterwards in a slightly different way. I'll just have to do it differently. But I do love the way that the palm branch comes off the H, and I can't even fit it that way because the A runs out and it would look odd coming on there, but I do love that. But I really wanted to use this one today, so sometimes we make it work. And I'll add those palm branches in a minute. So what I'm doing is centering the word Hosanna there, and I might add, let's see, I'll do a little bit of a shadowy technique. I'll use my offloading cardboard here, and I don't have any room to tape my stencil down on the board, although you could sort of wrap your tape and put it underneath and stick it down. But I'm going to tape off this palm branch here, and I'll tape this one off about there. We'll leave the little curl over the H. Let's see how that works. I was going to do a shadow. Do I want black as the shadow, or do I want white as a shadow? Maybe just white would stand out nicely also. Actually, we could use that. All right, I just want something a little bit more subtle than the black. So I'm going to use that Woodwick that I was using earlier as a bit of a shadow just behind, and that sort of blends in with the wood colour too. But it'll stand out as a shadow. Gina says you're the first to use the Hosanna. I didn't even notice. I do try and check out what the others have done so we can all do something differently, but sometimes it's hard to see what all of our ambassadors are doing each time on our lives. So some of us double up on some things, but yeah, I think Melissa used the other side yesterday. Here's Risen on something. Okay, so we've got the Woodwick colour, brown colour from Fusion, and I'm just going to create a stencil, look there, and it's going to stand out on the wood a little bit, but it's the same colour that I used to stain the wood with. And this is going to be my shadow background. So whatever you want to be in the background of your stencil, and then I'll put a white over the top. You put that on first, your background, and then you add the white or the lighter colour on top. So you want two contrasting colours if you're doing a shadowing technique. Oh, Cindy, that's so lovely of you. Thank you, ES, for the free shipping month and the items with your orders. Yes, we always love a good bonus free gift, don't we? And that's so generous of them to add that in. So yeah, if you missed that news, it's the last day today for free shipping because it's the last day of January. January, 31 days. How has that gone already so quickly? So yes, if you do have some pre-orders ready to go, or if you've pre-ordered some stencils, now's your chance to just add whatever else you need, brushes, or if you saw something that you liked this week on our Ambassador Lives, you can add that quickly to your cart and take advantage of that free shipping. Don't forget, here's my code, I Restore Stuff. You'll save 10% on anything there, including the Easter bundle, of which I think there was only about 30 left, so get in quick if you wanted to grab the whole bundle. And that includes this Hosanna sign. Okay, so there's our word Hosanna, and that stands out nicely on the wood in that brown colour. And remember, we can reverse this and do another themed word for the other side. It wouldn't have to be seasonal. Okay, I'm just going to quickly rub that off a little, as much as I can, because when I do white over the top of this, I don't want that to become a murky brown white. I want it to be a nice white, as much as I can. And I should make sure that's fairly dry, otherwise it's going to sort of drip out. Hi Dana, how are you? Thank you for saying hello. I'm doing really well. And our little puppy is watching me from her crate over at the side there, otherwise she kind of gets up to a little bit of mischief when there's no one else around. Or she'll pester me to go out the door because we don't have a puppy door. So, okay, so now I've got that. Oh, I should have hit that with the hairdryer too. This dries fairly quickly. And so we'll just hit that really just to make sure that it's dry, because if your layers are still wet, then you may end up sort of taking off some of that layer when you do your shadow over the top. So we could do, what colour should I do the palm branches? Should I make them stand out with a green, like a true colour, or should I go white? Let me know in the comments what you think for the palm branches. I'm going to place them in a different way because they don't fit on my block. But let me know, what do you think? Should I add them, make them white or green? Larry Christie says green, Terry says green. I just wanted to show you close up too. Oh, a lot of people are saying green. Okay, so I have got that placed down. What you do for shadowing is I've got it placed exactly where it was, then I'm going to shift it slightly across. Did you see that shift? And slightly up. So now you can see a little space in there, and that space is where I'm going to do the white. Just double checking that again. And so we'll have white over that. So the brown will really be like a secondary colour on this, and it'll be like a drop shadow type effect. Okay, just going to grab some acrylic white, and I will could use any colour for this, I suppose. I'm just going to use, any brush I mean. I'm just going to use a 1/2 inch brush and just use an acrylic white. And sometimes white going over a dark colour, you may need to use a a second coat. Oh, hopefully I don't have too much paint on my brush for this one. So offloading the brush is what I'm doing here on this piece of cardboard. So I've offloaded a blob here, taking a little bit out to the side and then adding the paint with a swirly motion. And the reason we offload most of the paint off our brush is so that we don't get fuzzy edges or bleeding underneath the stencil. Okay, and I think, just have to add a little bit more paint onto this. There's people wanting to see our pup. I may show her at the end if she's awake. She's sort of gone to sleep now, so which is nice. But I am also expecting a package today, and so if that doorbell rings, she will wake up. I can't tell. I wish I could tell the package people. I should put a note out front, shouldn't I? I'm on a live right now. Just drop the package right there. I'll get it soon instead of having the doorbell ring. Okay, so I've put one layer on there, but I can see the brown through that. I'll lift that up close so you can see. I can still see a bit of the brown through that white. So I'll show you, I've got my hand held on that. I'll show you, see if we can see the general look of it. So it does need to be a brighter white. Hang on, let me hold it up. So you can see that drop shadow look happening. But if I add more white there, it'll be a lot brighter. So we'll do that again. Hit it with the hairdryer if you wanted to. Just to get it quickly dry, because again, if that first coat is not dry, not just a different colour, but if your first coat of a certain colour is not completely dried, it can sometimes lift up that colour and you get a bit of a mess happening. So I've learnt that lesson. Thanks, Laurie, for answering there. I think the question was about shadowing and what colours to use possibly, but my tip is always to use two contrasting colours. They don't have to be the same kind of tones or anything. Like I'm using a dark chocolate and a white colour, just so that they contrast, but you could use a dark green and a light green. That would work really well, or a dark blue and a light blue. So now we can see that this is really going to be a lot brighter when I add that second coat. So again, offloading your brush is the key, and I've seen lots of comments over the years that I've been doing stenciling about I still get the fuzzy edges, or I still get bleeding underneath the stencil, and honestly it's just 99.9% of the time it's because the brush still has too much paint on it. Either that, sometimes it can be a factor of the paint. You may be using a really runny paint, and so that could be a factor in it. But even I've used milk paint, which is like powder and water mixed together, and it can be quite a thin runny paint. I've even used that for stenciling, and as long as you do offload the brush and keep it a dry brush, we call it, keep it fairly dry, then you will still get nice crisp edges. Oh, do I have to get more paint on the brush maybe? Just a tad. Oh, Jenny, I'm so glad that you've learned a lot watching us ambassadors. That's why we're here, to show you some techniques, some tips, some new craft ideas. I don't know, maybe some of you have never thought about or known how to distress a plain piece of brand new wood to make it look a bit aged, like we did on this block of wood. So we love to show different techniques, some staining, some shadowing ideas that you can do with your stencils, make them look extra special, especially those of you who are creating to sell at markets and things like that. There's a lot of market sellers that we have watching us and learning from our lives, and a lot of people have joined the Stencil of the Month Club, which the doors of the Stencil of the Month Club are closed right now, but they will be open. They open for 1 week out of the month, and we usually promote that here on our live to showcase those. All right, so let's have a look and see how that shadow turned out. I think green was the consensus that we're going to do the palm branches. All right, so there is the Hosanna word, and you can see that brown shadow in the background has really made a nice effect, drop shadowing that onto there. So let's take these off now, and we'll have to use these bits of tape because the only reason I'm doing the palm branches separately is because they didn't fit on my block of wood. So I'm going to create this palm branch going, oh look, it's going to go into the word. No, it's not, but that would be okay if it did. That would be fun. So I'm going to create this palm branch right about here, and I think that I'll just, I can see a little bridge there, so I'm going to stop it right at that bridge by using my tape, and we're going to get a brush with some green on it, and I do have some pressed fern. This is pressed fern by Fusion Mineral Paint, and I'll just add that. We'll use this for my lily pad with the frog on it as well, so don't go anywhere because we're going to be doing that in a minute too. So we've got some green, and I have offloaded the brush so that it's fairly dry, and then we're just doing a bit of a, sometimes you can sort of go along the strokes of the branches. If you've got lines going across, I'll go back and forth on the lines, but mostly I'll sort of do a bit of a swirling method. So that looks rather cute. So yeah, if you have your block of wood and you measure it to be 16 inches long, your palm branches will fit just perfectly like that. Oh, I like it. I like it so far. That looks cute. And then I'll remove this, which I had taped off so that it wouldn't get on the words, and just turn that around to tape off the N, and then we'll add it down to the bottom. Now you could add a whole bunch more palm branches too. I'm going to make this palm branch go across the word Hosanna, I think, because otherwise it's going to go off the block. Maybe I'll make it go off the block slightly because I don't want that branch too far onto the word, but it'll go across the bottom of the word, and that's okay. Being creative here. Okay, so I've got some green right here, left, and I will add that. You can sort of, what I'm doing anyway, is layering it over the top of that last letter, A. Just nice swirly strokes. I can still see the letter A through there, and you'll still be able to see what the word means. So sometimes you can just kind of add that. Karen's asking, aren't they out of detail brushes? Oh, Karen, I didn't check on that. So yeah, it would be on their website. If they're out, it would say sold out on there, and I haven't had a chance to check on that, sorry. But if there is anything out of stock, don't forget to, there should be a little button on their product somewhere that allows you to let them know that you want to know when it's going to be restocked, and then they'll send you a message or an email. There we go. And that would look great, wouldn't it, with these palm branches with a white shadow underneath, if I had have done that too. It'll make that stand out. So there's the Hosanna block. You can see that sitting on a shelf nicely. And then you can use the other side. I might save that for another day and stencil like a year-round. So we've got the seasonal stencil, and we can just use the reverse for a year-round, like a welcome sign or something like that, that we could add to it to create some fun there. Okay, so we finished with our Hosanna. I'll remove those, and then I can clean that up later. Now we'll go on with our lily pad. Now this is a layered stencil, so I haven't used this one yet. That one I just used there was from the He Is Risen and Hosanna stencil set. And this one, I'll be using this round, which is around about 11 inches, but if possible, if you have them, I would use a 12-inch stencil because that's how large the stencil is here. And if you missed the news earlier, I'll just have that sitting there so you can see what we've been working on. Hopefully you can see all the things. And if you missed it earlier, we just stained this. It was this colour, and we've stained it with that same wash that we stained the Hosanna with. And I was also mentioning how this is a layered stencil set. And this is not available to purchase on the website, but if you have in your cart, or if you pre-order, I think it's in one purchase, over $90 worth of stencils, then you will get free, absolutely free, this set. Isn't that amazing? So use my code, I Restore Stuff, and don't forget you can save using that code as well. You can save on the entire Easter bundle if you purchase the whole bundle. There was only about 30 of them left last I checked. But I will show you how to use this, but it has got clear instructions, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, and all you have to do is decide, okay, I'm going to paint that whatever colour you want the frog to be. I'm going to do green. I'm just kind of going to mirror what they've done here. Welcome black. So you can choose that, choose your colour for layer 2 and layer 3. So we'll put that over here. I probably will refer to it a little. Put my tools away. Okay, so right up on the tops here, I don't know if you can see that, it says layer 1. And so each stencil has layer 1, layer 2, layer 3 on it. So those are our 3 stencils. Make sure you, if you need help, tips on stenciling, they all come with a brochure there. They also, our stencils, our transfers and our brushes also come with a QR code that shows you how to use them. So we've got videos there on our YouTube channel for Essential Stencil. So if you haven't subscribed to Essential Stencil's YouTube channel, that is a great idea also, because they have lots of tutorials and things on there too. Okay, so here is the first layer. It says layer 1, that's the one that you want to go down first. Now it does have these little registration marks. Oh, and I didn't bring a pencil again. So you could, maybe I've got one handy over here. Let me look real quick in my trusty kitchen drawer. We always have things in the kitchen drawers. Anyone got one of those drawers, junk drawers? There's a pencil right there. It's a dark one, so hopefully it'll turn out well. So I can just fit this on my round, but these are registration marks. So what you can do is just add a little pencil mark here, but don't use these for stenciling on, okay? You don't want to stencil that. So once you've drawn them on, if you think that you might accidentally stencil on those registration marks, remind yourself with just a little bit of tape. That's all you need. So for this one, I'm just copying what they've done here. I'm going to do a green background, but I'm also going to use the words at the top. I'll do them in a black, or I could do them in that brown colour. Something dark. Let's see. A little bit of black, and I will use that same darker green on our layer 1 that I used with Fusion Mineral Paint Pressed Fern. So it's sort of a darker green. And I did have a brush with that on it. So let's just go ahead and use the same brush that I used here for the Hosanna branches. I've still got a small bit on my cardboard here. I will need a fair bit for this. So luckily I've already chosen a larger stencil brush because we've got all that area to fill in on this first layer. So we'll start down here. And so when you do have larger areas to fill in, you really don't have to take a lot off your, remove a lot of the paint from your brush, but I still like to sort of work in that colour into the bristles so it's evenly dispersed in the bristles, and then you can grab your brush and go right in the centre there and get all that excess paint off. So this is very different than how I would stencil the words, because with the words there's not a lot of space that you're filling in, whereas this, I've got all that space in the middle to fill out. So I'm working in from the edges and using the centre, almost like a area to offload your brush in that whole centre area there. So again, just working the bristles into the brush. I'm not actually removing a lot from the brush. And then look at that, you can get all that coverage right there in the centre, and then work your bristles into the centre from the edges. And we'll go over any bits that we feel like are a bit more, translucent or that need a little bit more coverage. We'll work on those. So I can grab some more from here and just fill in this lily pad a bit more. Oops, just dipped my finger in the black paint, which we're going to use in a minute for the words. Yes, the frog is going to be very cute. And if you missed it earlier, this is some of you may have already ordered, seen this in your order or in your cart. So this is the latest freebie for if you order $90 or more in stencils. It's called Welcome to Our Pad, door hanger. So it's another one of those cute door hangers. So I'm trying not to get the green on the words because I'm going to do them black. But if it accidentally touches there, I won't be too worried because our black paint will definitely cover the green. Okay, so we've covered all of the green. Now this is layer 1. So this is how you do layered stencils. Just doing a tutorial on the layered stencils right now. Earlier, if you missed it, we did this Hosanna Easter sign. Oh, and there's these guys. What color should I do those? I could do them green, or I could do them black, or I could do them white. These are going to be, so these little lines here are going to be your dragonflies, the little body of the dragonfly. So they've got them green. You could choose any other color you like to do those. You could do white to make them stand out even more. But imagine, what color would you do them? The body of the dragonfly, what color would you do it? Black or a more neutral color? I've just filled them in green because I've got the brush handy. So that's all I'll do with that green, although I may come back to that green to create the lighter green at the end with just adding a little bit of white. Now I've got this area here that I'm going to do in the black, and I'm just going to use a 1/2 inch brush. Just a reminder, I mentioned it earlier, but I will mention again because we do have different people coming on at different times during our live. So if you hear me repeating myself, it's only because I want to give the info to all of the people who might be joining halfway through. And that today is the last day for free shipping to take advantage of the January, free ship all of January, because it's the 31st of January. Where did that month go? Feels like Christmas was just yesterday. And so if you do have anything else you want to add to your collection, if you need any more brushes, now's a good chance to order those, add them. If you've pre-ordered something from the Easter collection already, why don't you grab some brushes and it will be shipped to you free. And this stencil set of layered stencils is available for those who have ordered $90 or more, and you'll see that pop up in a little pop-up window as you add things to your cart at essentialstencil.com. You'll see a little pop-up window and say, if you purchase $90 worth, you will get this freebie. Or if you order, I think it's $65, I think it's $65 and you get the free brushes, so that's awesome. Free set of brushes, and they look like this. That's if you order 65 and over. So, and I believe you get both, right? If you order the $90, I think you get both. Someone can confirm that for me. But, last little bit here for the L. And hopefully I didn't have too much on my brush just then. Every now and then I have this little panic. I go, oops, I didn't offload that as much as I should have. Okay, so that is layer 1, okay? All done and ready to go on to our next layer. Remember, we had our little penciled registration marks on here. And so we've penciled those in, and I put some tape over so that I didn't accidentally cover them up or paint them, because I don't want little crosses painted. But you can see I've penciled those little registration marks right here and right up here. So that's the first layer. Our second layer, where are we? Guys, where did I just put my layers? They're underneath here. So layer 2 coming up, and it'll be up on the top corner here. We've got layer 2. It says it up here. It's etched into each of your stencils, and then layer 3. Okay, so I'll place layer 3 over there so I don't lose it. Now here's those little pencil registration marks again. See the little crosses right here? So now I take those and I lay them over the top of this cross here, these crosses that I have already penciled, and then you can erase them obviously when you've finished your whole sign. So I've penciled that there. Now I'm going to cover those up so I don't accidentally paint on them again. And now we've got this area here for the dragonflies to do, and then we've got the lily flowers. Now let's see what color did Essential Stencils, creative people, use? They've used pink on the lily flowers. Oh, and then see, these are water splashes down here. Oh, I didn't see that. My water splash is going to go over the edge of my design, so that's okay. I should have shifted it up slightly a little bit on my design. So we've got pink and blue for this second layer. All right, so I did have this gorgeous pink color here, rose water, and that's a fusion mineral paint color. We'll just get that one. I'm lucky I've got a couple of different sets of stencil brushes. That's why sometimes you need more than one. And I've got my notes over here on a cardboard that I can just use for my offloading if I need to use more. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave some comments, and then we will be able to help you if you're unsure of how the stenciling works or how the layering works. Okay. So again, we're going to add this to the lily flowers. So we've got a huge area here to fill again. So we can just do that like so. Oh, I did get that the right way around, didn't I? I just was worried for a second there that I might have put it on upside down. I'm okay. We've got this. Now, if you look at the words, if the words are the right way up, then you have got your stencil the right way up. So I needn't have worried. Oops, I needed a lot more on my brush because we've got a huge area down here in the center to fill out. So we'll do that. We'll come in from the sides so we can get that off our brush. And what color have they done? They've done blue on the dragonfly's wings and the same color blue as the water down below. So we can do something similar, or you might choose some completely different colors to do your frog and lily pad with. Welcome to our pad, it says. It's very cute. One more down here. Now this one has some water splashes right next to it. So if I wanted to, I could actually, it might be a good idea if you're worried about stenciling accidentally in the blue section, or the part that you want to do blue, the water, tape those areas off. I'll just try and be careful. Probably will get a little bit in there, but that's okay. Okay, so we've done our pink areas. Now, remember that this is going to have another layer on top. So we're going to contrast that light pink with a darker pink to work with those, the insides of the lilies. Let's get some blue. And for this, I've just chosen a chalk paint that we stock here in Australia, but you can use any kind of acrylic, water-based paint. As long as they're sort of water-based, they'll all go together. What other blue things? I haven't got a lot of blue, so I only need a little bit, I believe, for this layer. Okay, so popping my pink brush in a wet cloth, and then we're going to use a smaller brush. This is a 1/2 inch brush for the blue. When it's all finished, I do seal my signs with just a bit of like a tough coat sealer from either fusion mineral paint or whatever you've got on hand. I use the water-based stuff just for ease of use. It's a gorgeous blue, and this is going to also be the color for the water. Now, I was just able to get that without getting it onto the pink. Coming from this end. Now remember, my board is slightly smaller than 12 inches. If you are getting a board, make sure it's a 12-inch board. But my water is about to drip over the edge of my board, but that's okay. It'll kind of look like it's finishes off the page kind of a picture. And another little bit of water down the bottom. So this is layer 2, and then we've got one more layer to go to finish off this gorgeous stencil. So just a reminder, this stencil set is available if you purchase $90 or more on the Essential Stencil website. Don't forget to use my code iRestoreStuff and save more. And there's the Easter bundle to get, and the spring bundle has sold out, but there are still lots of spring stencils still available singly. You don't have to purchase them as a bundle. Okay, ready to see that lot. Okay, so that's our first 2 layers. The last layer is layer 3. Layer 3 is etched right at the top there. And again, we want to use our pencil registration marks that we already penciled in from our first layer, those 2 little crosses. Look at, we've got the frog's eyes. We've got the eyes, and all of the details come together in this last layer. So let me find those, and the paint, I won't worry about drying it with the dryer because it really does dry quickly. I've used mineral paints and chalk paints, and they're very, very quick to dry. Okay, so once I've got that in place, I don't want to shift it anywhere. I'm going to just hide those registration marks, although I won't stencil them because they're sort of far away from the rest of the design. So then I refer, and you don't have to, you can just make up your own colours. I know Shelley's so stinking cute, she says. And I'm looking at their colours here, and they've got that final layer where they've used a darker pink for the lilies, so we'll do that. And then what have we got? The lighter green. So we've got a dark green here. What I'm going to do is just add some white to create a lighter green, okay? So I've got my green brush here. So wherever I see dark green, I'll be doing the light green. And what about the eyes? What have we got there? Is that black? Oh, we've got in the whites of his eyes. Oh, I didn't do the eyes white, but that's a good idea. You could do that. Oh, hang on. No, that's going to be black in there. So black, and for his smile, black they've got. But again, you can choose your own colours. Let me just get those details in first, because otherwise I'm going to, there we go. It was just slightly off my little dots. Let's see, where's my black paint colour gone? Right here. Otherwise I'll forget. I do have a little bit of black right here. Oops, now that's too runny. Oh, I just dipped that in water. Bad mistake. I do not want to run that on here because it will run all underneath. So I'm going to actually have to get a completely different brush and start that again. So looking for a small brush. So I've got a 1/2 inch, and I don't even want to use that again because it's so runny. So there's a warning for you. If you do have a dryish paintbrush, just get another one. Just get another one. It kind of dried out because I had left it on the bench. Okay, so I'm going to dip the black, and I only need the tiniest bit. And you always want to use a dry brush. So if in doubt, just refer to the pictures right here on the back of the stencil, because they have great ideas. I'm just going to pop it like that so I can make sure I've got my little eyes here, and they've got white in the background of the eyes only because they've got a white background. I've got a wood background, so you're going to see my little frog's eyes as a bit of wood in the background instead of white. But if you had a white background here, you would see the whites of his eyes. The whites of my frog's eyes are going to be a tannish colour, and that's okay. Let me just see if we've got any other black detail. No, the spots are green, everything else is green there. So there's our cute eyes. Done. Let's see. Next, we're going to use I'm going to use the Fusion's red to create a pink with red and white. Okay, so this is the pink color here. I don't want to go with too dark, like a bright red. I want to create sort of a pink color, but I am going to use that pink. See the pink I have on the end of that brush? Because we're not using that pink anymore, I'm just going to use that. So I'll add block a bit of white down here. We don't have a lot. We've got 1, 2, 3 areas, and then the rest is going to be a light green. So I've got a dot of white there, and I'm just going to dip that in the red of the lid and create sort of a darker pink colour. That's a lot darker. So I'm just going to use this over here, offload that. Probably need to offload more because I've got a lot on the brush right there. Okay, and now that's going to create extra detail. I just love these layered looks. Who else is enjoying the layered stencil look? And so there are a few, you'll notice on Essential Stencils website, they've got a few layered designs now. So I think there was one in the spring collection, got some in the Easter collection. So now I hope that with these tutorials you can kind of be more confident in using those layers, because instead of using your tape and then taping off different areas to have different colors, these layers really do make it easier to just add dimension. Okay, so we've done the pink, the darker pink, so I had a light pink underneath the lilies, and then I'll show you that, how cute that looks. Look, there's a sneak peek right there, see that? Now we'll just add a lighter green to the rest of the green areas. So you can see where all the green is. We're going to add some lighter green. So let's use that green brush that I used before, and we'll just, again, add a bit of white and create a green colour ourselves. So once again, adding a bit of white dollop here, and then adding a bit of that same green that we used. Some fluff on my brush. Adding that in there. And now we've got a really light green colour, a bit of a lighter contrasting colour. And this is the frog's tummy and his spots. And also the lily pad, so we've got that going as well. Just be careful if you think you're too close to those pink areas, you can always just tape those off while you're doing this. But the reason for the layering is to just avoid a lot of taping, but at the same time getting a nice full picture going. I had a lot on my brush, didn't I? I'm still going with that same green colour all over here. Oh, that's all I've got left, so otherwise if I have to try and mix it again, I don't know if I'll get the same colour because I didn't write down any ratios, but I think we've got just enough on the brush to create that look. So it's just added a little bit of dimension. I'll see if we can still see that contrast. Yeah, I think that's great. I could add a bit more white, you know. I may just do that. Let's just do that super quickly. Don't go anywhere because we're going to pick some winners when I finish this sign. We're almost finished. Just adding a bit more white. And yeah, I'm just going to do it. Just adding a little bit more white to make that stand out. It's going to look a little cloudy, and that's okay. That's kind of the look I want to go for. Just adding a little bit more shadowy depth. Just wanted it to contrast a little bit more on those lily pads. I love how you can still see the grain of the wood in there as well. So that's our third and final layer. So 3-layer stencil, and this one is available to those who are free, absolutely free, if you purchase $90 or more on the Essential Stencil website. So here we go, here's our big reveal. So that's the 3 different layers, and let's have a look at that. How cute does that look? And I just based mine similar to the colours. That's actually blue, it looks white, doesn't it? Those little watermarks down there. I just based it roughly on the colours that they used here, but you can, again, choose any colours you like from the essential, you know, wherever you like, any colours that you've got in your collection. Now let's have a look here. I am looking for some winners now, so let me know if you do see winners on the comments, because we have finished for the day, but I hope you really enjoyed that. Now there are plenty of layered stencils, and it's the same technique that I used for this one on the different layering of the stencils. Essential Stencil has marked every layer, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. I did the sunflowers last week, so there's 3 different sunflowers. Go check that one out. If you missed last week's live, you'll be able to see that. If you missed the beginning of the live, we looked at how to distress a piece of wood, to get it that lovely aged kind of timber, and I created a stain using a wash. So instead of the blonde wood, I've created sort of a brownish stain. Now that one, when I do seal it, that wash will give a little bit more depth and a little bit more dark. So that's just like a shelf sitter. And again, I've used the Hosanna Risen stencil set. That's an Easter one. So if you haven't got that one yet, don't forget, last day for free shipping right here at Essential Stencil for January. And our winners today, we've got Laurie Armstrong, Wendy Briggs-Morin and Terry Wiggins. Congratulations to our winners today. You have won a gift card, $20 gift card that you can spend on whatever stencils or brushes or transfers you like at essentialstencil.com. Don't forget, use my code IRestoreStuff. If you were not a winner today, you can still save using my code, 10% off. And that's on the bundles, that's on the brushes, the transfers and everything. So congratulations, winners. And I will see you again next week for another live DIY project. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye.